Good afternoon, good morning, sorry. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live from the Workers' Rights Network. Now, yesterday, being the 6th of the first month, 2025, we would have attended a UNC meeting. And the outpouring of the people that was there, it was touching. Some of the comments that, we had was to cut from the camera. Some of the people would have broken down in tears. And seeing Kamla Persad-Bissessar as the only hope for this country. Many of the people there would have come with hope in their heart from all corners of Trinidad. I know, as I keep saying, we have these unorthodox lives that we just do. And what we are about to do here is play a live. It's the same meeting that would have taken place last night, but from on a different level, from a different perspective. We would have touched base with nearly everybody within the crowd. But before I move on with that live, but when I was leaving, a little child would have said that, I just see your program, I enjoy the program, but I have this poem that I go like it to recite. And I don't see no reason why that, I shouldn't do it, a matter of fact. So before we go on to the live, this was the poem, a matter of fact, from a little girl. And that is what set the theme or the notion, put this into motion. In shadows deep, where whispers lie, a flicker glows through hearts may sigh, though hearts may sigh. Those storm that rage and sky that weep, hope holds its watch while others sleep. It lifts the weary from the ground when it seems all is lost and no light is found. A gentle promise hang there. Hope is the dawn in the darkest night, a steady flame that burns so bright. It speaks of dreams yet to be born, of fields to bloom in coming morn, a battle fought, a struggle won. In every hearts that bruise and torn, hope sings the song of all things anew, of strength within, of skies turn blue. So hold it close, this steadfast light, through every trial, every fight. For as long as hope remains in view, the world is waiting to be renewed. That poem from that little child there and at that UNC meeting would have touched me so much that it would have set the whole theme for this. Now we are going into the video from on the ground level. Now the people that we didn't play, we didn't play your interview here this morning, or you don't get vexed. Because it's not about we, it's not about you. We can't play. Everything is done. The whole thing is done about 2 hours long already. And we would have tried to squeeze in as much of the comment or as much views as possible. The numbers on the screen, the many of you that was there, I know you have a lot of things to say. Or you know this channel is a channel that bring the views and perspective of the average man that are marginalized. And when we mean marginalized, the average man that are not seen and heard and pushed into a corner by the powers that be, by the dominating views that it have outside there. We want to hear you. We want to hear what you are saying. But let me not stay too long. Let me go straight into the video. Sheldon Khan was the person on the floor that meeting the people and greeting the people. He was the one first hand. I was behind the camera, so let's jump right into that video. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching, people.
My name is Sheldon Khan from the Progressive Empowerment Party, along with my friend Renison Jeffrey. But let the people see yourself now, man. You're always hiding behind the camera.
Don't worry yourself now, it's the camera, man.
Right. This is my uncle Kendall Centage. And he said this year he voted for me. Right? So this year, we, as you know, the Progressive Empowerment Party is doing a coalition with the UNC for this 2025 election. So we're here this afternoon for the UNC first Monday night meeting for 2025. We're here to meet the people. To all you folks who home on your couch, we are here. We come this evening to give you a ball-by-ball interview of what's taking place. You understand? We don't want to live home and only know what's going on. That is what the Progressive Empowerment Party is about. We are about you knowing what's going on. Yeah, nobody had to tell you, you know. Can bring in the information to you. Can and Jeffrey. Workers' rights, UNC in Shogunas. So we're walking in, as you can see, it's a lot of traffic. Maxi's red band, Maxi's yellow band. Right? So we're trying to walk in, and it's traffic. But it's expected. Everybody is excited about the coalition. Everybody wants to be part of this. Everybody wants to be part of this team. So it has space for people right now in Shogunas with this coalition. You can imagine what will take place for the elections. Right? Everybody excited. Right? So we walking in to a guy with a paddle. Yeah. The car park, all the car parks around here filled, you know, fill the capacity. How are you going? All right? Yeah. Let's find out. Let's talk with this guy. So, what area are you from, sir?
Blackstone.
My name is Sheldon. I'm from the Progress. So, where's your representative from the area? What you brought up people up here?
Yeah, David Lee.
David Lee.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the concerns? What area are you from?
Point Up here.
Point Up here. What are some of the concerns in Point Up here that you would like to see addressed for this 2025 election?
Well, you know, a good question. When UNC was in power and it was going for the general election, last general election.
Right.
It was building a wall on the river, they flowing it, and then the two sides coming up. Because
what is the address of this place that you're talking about? That they was building this wall and this river?
That is Narayanville in Union Village, Claxton.
Right. And you live there?
Yeah. Right?
So what's the purpose they were building this wall?
Well, the river bank was caving.
Good.
And I have a brother lived to the back. He had 3 vehicles. And he had to leave the cars by the roadside.
Right.
And he had to walk
in
a narrow...
and this movement said he'd like it get on here.
Yeah.
So the people at home can see you representing the area and you're concerned about the wall.
Yeah. So before the general election, they was going good to the front compound.
Right.
But was close to the election, and I feel like they wanted frontage.
Right.
So they leave the back where really affected.
Okay.
That is in front of my house.
Right.
And they do the front.
And what's this area again? Tell us again.
Union Village in Blackstone.
Right. Go ahead.
Right? And after that, they come and lose the election.
Right.
And right in front of my house,
the work stop.
All the wall cracking. I had to cut down all the trees. just to ease up the weight of the trees from cracking and breaking down the wall.
So your interest is to getting this piece of woodwork continued
Yeah.
or start back
Yeah.
because it's affecting you.
Yeah.
Where's the area again?
Union Village in Claxton.
And your name is again?
Hamil.
So Hamil, nice meeting you, and I hope we could shed some light on that topic for you, right? Okay. So how many people you bring up, Hamil, tonight? How much people you bring? 12. Okay. So nice meeting you, Hamil.
Yeah. So, this means what the public...
So my name is Sheldon. I'm from the Progressive Empowerment Party. This is Renison Jeffrey from the Workers' Rights Union. We are doing a coalition. As you know, the Progressive Empowerment Party is doing a coalition with the UNC for the upcoming election. So we're here to cover the event tonight.
Right, I'm glad that you see
Because you need that wall fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, Hamil.
Okay.
Nice meeting you. Right, so you folks, you all see what's going on. Traffic. That's the MP that the MP tried to bounce with. So we're trying to get to the meeting. It don't even a walking space. How you going, sir? You alright? Hi, how you going? How you going? So, folks, as I said, this is the first Monday night meeting for the United National Congress. And we are here tonight to give you all folks an indication of what is take place at a Monday night meeting live. You know? So I like your shirt, boy. That's a UNC shirt or that's just UN fashion. Yes, yes. Right. So my name is Sheldon. I'm from the Progressive Empowerment Party. This is Renison Jeffrey from the Workers' Right. As you know, the Progressive Empowerment Party is doing a coalition with the UNC. So what are some of the concerns you have in your area, Anwen?
Like everybody else, roads and water.
Okay, all right, okay. But I like your shit. Yeah. So Anwen, his concerns like everybody else, roads and water. So cars on that side. You see people park on both sides of the road. The only good thing about this venue, or the great thing about this venue, is it's right along the highway. So you know, for persons who know the country as much as myself and Renison, it's not a difficult venue for you to find. A lady trying to do a 3-point, you know she passed the drivers. He passed the drivers right here. Yeah? Because he's making a 3-point turn in a narrow road like that. She's skillful like that, you know. Normally me and my friend is parked up somewhere around here, you know, but you see these maxis, look how much maxis have tonight. They block up all these spots. Hey, look, I'm in a brown man maxi. Let me see if we know him, Renison. Good night, sir. How are you going? Sir? My name is Sheldon. I'm from the Progressive Empowerment Party for the Point 14 area. This is Renison Jeffrey from Point 14. But you know, anytime we see a brown bang maxi, we get a kind of feeling now. Where area are you from? Penal. So, what's your name? Sandy. So Sandy, how many people you bring up tonight? 15. So who's your representative for your area, Sandy, if you mind me asking? Huh? Kamla. Right. Come, Sandy, what are some of the concerns that you're having in that penal area? Yeah, you ain't feeling to talk to the camera. So that was Sandy. He ain't feeling to talk tonight. So we moving again. We're moving again, eh, folks? Hello, good afternoon. How are you all going?
Good, man.
Where are you all from?
We from Caroni East.
This is the kind of people. So my name is Sheldon. I'm from the Progressive Empowerment Party.
Nice
This is my friend Renison Jeffrey. As you know, the Progressive Empowerment Party is doing a coalition with the UNC.
Right.
So we were invited here tonight to cover the event.
Yes, man.
So Caroni East, what are some of the problems you all having in Caroni East?
I'm
What is
supposed to start the road.
On the road. We have a picture. Where's the problem with the road?
All right, I feel about to call Rowley and ask him about that. Hey,
Rowley step down.
Yeah.
Shut young is the man now. He have no TV.
Right.
Caroni East don't have no TV. This man know that Rowley step down.
But we have water there, so it's not a thing that's...
I know they have water because every rain season I see how they get flood out.
Yeah, so just, you know, the crime made by enterprise and thing.
Yeah, how the SOE fitting in?
Good. In my point of view, it was good.
It was good.
It was good. Because it kind of calmed down and you are hearing nothing. Understand?
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your name?
My name is Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
And your name is? Ria.
Don't
Don't tell me you have a R name too, you know.
Yeah, Richard.
So I know what about buying Caroni in the bar, so it's triple R. So folks, nice meeting you, and please enjoy the rest of the evening, okay? You hear that? From Cairnese. Good afternoon. So we're moving again, We're going against some interviews. Hello, how you going? Good afternoon. Got a gentleman watching me here, man. Nice brave gentleman here. Hey, is he same fella, boy? Is that shit? You know, is that shit? Yeah, let me walk in now, man. Let me take from the left and we're going straight around. Let's go, please. We're going this way. Right? The folks who in the headquarters right now. We're going to show you we're in the headquarters. Right?
Thanks.
So on the compound, we're in the headquarters. Right? So we're looking for opinions right now. Wait, so hi, good afternoon. How are you this afternoon? I love your yellow jersey. Where are you from?
I'm from San Francisco, Pinal.
San Francisco, Pinal. So you came up with the Maxi or you drove up here?
No, we come up with the Max.
So what is that? So what's your name?
My name is Rita Ramna.
Rita Ramna. So Rita, my name is Sheldon Khan and this is my friend Renison from the workers, right? What are some of the problems you all are having in Pinal?
Well, in Pinal, have real crime zone.
Real crime?
Yeah, real crime.
So how that SOE working out for you all with that crime?
Like just right by the neighbor across by we there known to have bandit and robbery.
Right.
Yeah, that real crime. All of a sudden, you know, Pinal never had crime until, you know.
Right.
Like, all of a sudden, just so.
So what you looking forward to for this election where crime is concerned? Betterment.
Betterment.
Okay, all right, okay. So we're moving again. Nice meeting you, Rita.
You too.
Yeah. Good afternoon. How you going, sir? Yeah, I like your blue jersey, man. So my name is Sheldon. I'm from the Progressive Empowerment Party. This is my friend Renison. Because of the coalition with the UNC. So what area are you from? Pinal. So the majority of people here from Pinal. So, what are some of your concerns in Pinal?
I don't think I want to comment right now.
You want to comment right now? Feeling shy? Yeah. All right, no problem. Hey, you know, every meeting I come to, and I always tell myself, Renison, that we had to do an interview this man. He had to be somebody important. So my name is Sheldon, I'm from the Progressive Empowerment Party. This is Renison Jeffrey from the Workers, right? And who are you? What's your name?
I am Firoz Khan.
Good.
So that's why you obviously thought that I would be somebody.
Yes. So Firoz, how come you're here tonight? What's your concern? What's your concern?
I come in here to make sure
Right.
that
Turn
the
the
country
Right. Turn the camera.
has a better
So
government.
so the folks at home can see you.
Yes.
Because, yeah?
So that we will have a better government in
So for-
2025. So that we can breathe again in 2025.
And she's accompanied by her husband, Dr. Bissessar.
What's the total?
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
Today,
She will stay on the outside for a bit to get some of the vibe from the outside. So let us continue in this massive Monday night meeting of the United National Congress. I was telling you, Davis, that small big father has been given $15 million per year for the last 8 years. By my check, that is over $120 million to sell.
everyone a very, very blessed and happy New Year.
How many people give me instruction, boss?
From the Queen!
But Small Pain and his father and his brother Small Pain, they done very well under the PNM. Them should love the PNM. Them should beat PNM till they dead. Because they made so much money that the generations go under them. And therefore, the leader is not now. So please, he graduated with honors. He's a member of the Criminal Bar Association. He was a UNC senator and he's the next member of Parliament for Togo. Sanibani, welcome, Mr. William.
Good boy.
UNC massive, good night.
leader of the opposition and political leader, and her husband, Mr. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, deputy political leaders, senators, members of parliament, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good night. Now they say that lawyers lie. But before I get to the lie just told by my colleague, it's a little white lie. Let me get to the truth. I can attest to the fact that Davis Mirage, or Brother Davis Mirage, has been doing charity for donkey years. I was a member of Mansfield Chambers, where he's the head of Chambers from 2007 to 2012. And I'll never forget the baptism of fire that my colleagues got one evening when he told us that part of being Chambers is you have to go and do charity. And I had to convince all of these law students, now come lawyers, to go to Riverside Plaza and feed the homeless. And Davis was really getting good kicks over it. And I want to pay homage to Davis for fostering that in the younger generation of lawyers, to let them know that in society you have to serve in every way possible. So a big hand. But Davis lied about something, a little white lie, because he said that he had the most powerful group backing him around West St. Joseph. And I want to tell Davis that the most powerful group of constituents is the team from Togo Sandwich. And you hear how much louder they check? So I want to ask Davis if he is not following the Facebook page to see how well received we are in Togo Sandwich. I walked Togo Sandy Grande in KP Lands on New Year's Day, and not one negative comment, not one. And then yesterday we went to the market in Sandy Grande. We walked through the town center of Sandy Grande, and barring one person, the entire trip was a very positive one, and they all said the same thing. We are fed up and we cannot wait to get rid of
One row must go.
Now, some of the things I heard from the people of Togo Sandy Grande is, but Wayne, you're not from here. And I said, well, I had to tell them first of all my history, that's where my ancestors came from, Guaycutama. And I had to tell them a business that I intend when I'm in the process of buying land in Togo. And then I had to make them realize the truth.
Tell them the Savior have come.
From 2015 to 2020, Togo Sandy Grande had a homegrown candidate.
Yes.
And nothing changed. From 2020 to now, Togo Sandy Grande have a homegrown candidate who spoke in the parliament, from what I'm told, from what I can see, once in 5 years. So I asked him, if it's so important for you to have a homegrown candidate, what has that done for you in the last 10 years? And they couldn't answer. That's the one thing that shut them up. So if you want to keep doing the same thing over and over, then don't expect different results. But the same thing over and over is being done in the criminal justice system, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. Because not many people know that when society fails, there's a clear link between the failure of our society and the failure of the criminal justice system. There's a symbiotic relationship between the criminal justice system and the failure of a society. And our criminal justice system has failed spectacularly. And over the Christmas, the Prime Minister, well...
Which one?
Now we have the 1% have their man. And I'm glad that the bold-faced enough to teach the PNM a lesson.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you something, on the day after the election in 2020, Keith Rowley went on CNC3 and spoke to Natalie Legault. And this is one thing I'll never forget. He said the job of the government is to provide opportunities for the rich. So when the crumbs fall from the table, all we can eat. That is what they voted for, and now they have another 1% to continue it. But there's something wrong with this country. There's something wrong, and it ain't funny no more. Because we are losing our young men. Either through lengthy periods of incarceration or death. We are losing our women. We are losing our children. And if you vote the People's National Movement again, you are good as playing Russian roulette with your future. Your children cannot vote, because if they could have voted, I would tell you, Gen Z, as they call it, Generation Z, would not be returning the PNM to power. So do a big favor and remove them. Get them out. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about a few things that is happening in the criminal justice system.
Ajiba.
Ajiba is a failure.
Big failure.
Big failure.
Big failure.
They said they'll bring in Ajiba and they brought in one pilot case to show that Ajiba could work. But what about all the rest? What about all the rest? They brought Ajiba to show that we can bring a man to trial within 6 months of being charged. Now hear this. When I came into practice in 1998, the time between being charged and being tried was 2 years. And incrementally it increased. But now, with all of the legislation, because Mr. Fares, Taipan, Salwari figure out that the way to fix the criminal justice system and the way to deal with violent crime in this country is through legislation. So he passed a whole heap of legislation, and you know what? It made it worse. This morning I sat in a court and watched a judge dismiss indictments against 5 men in 5 separate cases. You know why? The case progression officer couldn't find the accused. This new thing they introduced, he couldn't find the accused, couldn't serve him, and the judge said, you had enough time to serve him, but discharge. Now, some might think the accused would celebrate, but the thing is, in this country, a lot of the times you have people bringing false allegations against persons. So, whilst you might think that the accused get away, a lot of the accused will tell you, I just want a trial, so that the allegations these people bringing against me could be tested. So by throwing out the case by way of what the civil lawyers call summary judgment, then the accused didn't get a chance to have the allegations tested, for his lawyer to test it, and for him to show that he's truly innocent. The victim who suffered didn't get a chance for her scrutiny, her testimony to be scrutinized, and if it's good, there's a conviction. So what about the victim? But the thing is, I'm not blaming the judge, because what the judge did, she did in accordance with the rules. But when the judges act in accordance with the rules, I don't know if you remember over the season, Mr. Prime Minister Rowley said, blame the judiciary. They don't punish people, they treated them soft like if them is the victim. Rowley blames everybody else but himself. They put in rules. I hear the difference. They use first world systems and first world rules applied to a criminal justice system that is understaffed and simply don't have the capability to apply these rules. So what happens? The rules operate in favor of some and not others. You cannot bring first world systems here unless you have the systems here, the work ethic here, and the quality personnel to work it, or else you will fail. So all they did was copy and paste what they have abroad, brought it here, and now it's failing. And as I tell you, when the criminal justice system fails, society fails. Now, let me tell you about something that bothers. I saw on TikTok just now, Akash Samuel trying to... I'm almost done. Akash Samuel trying to interview the minister responsible for the criminal justice system and national security. And you know what? They've reached a state, they want to talk. They are above us. They take themselves above us, and we are not entitled to a response. Narcissism. So now we have situations where 2 prosecutors dead in the last 10 years, and whilst all that was going on, they attacked Roger Gaspar, the DPP, when Gaspar said, I am not carrying my prosecutors on Henry Street. They have war going on right there. Why must I carry these people there and put them in the line of fire? That's right. And they fight him down, but he stood his ground. And now, rent money, thank you. And now that we see how the cookie is crumbling, I wonder what they have to say. That's why you run from Akash. I mean, given the signal to wrap up, I had so much to say that I'll say it another time. Let me just say one last thing. When Keith Rowley and Faris Al-Rawi was in opposition, they had all the answers to crime. All you remember the 10-point crime plan? Well, guess what? Kudos to them, they implemented. They implemented, fully implemented. And now it is a fully implemented, monumental and spectacular failure. So, do this for the children. When the bell rings, put their mouth. Thank you.
Now, we here on this workers' rights platform. Now, if Wayne Surge, the representative for Grandy, could come here or could mount a platform and say that the criminal justice system is failed, have failed in Trinidad. For months, we have been saying that here, and we would have shown you scenarios after scenarios here on this workers' rights platform. I, for myself, would have come out and tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago of a situation that I going through here. In this court system, imagine that you could walk into a court and do bound to come back out in Trinidad and Tobago. The justice system for you. And when I, Renison Jeffrey, would have risked my life to tell you about a situation that I went through it in Point 14. Some out of control magistrates it have down there. One recuse herself from a matter. And the next one, they pull it from she because I would have had was to bring up a magistrate. Now in Trinidad and Tobago, anybody doing that just so you know that death coming. And there are many friends that I had at distance themselves. They say, but you know, what really going on? So to just mention the point a little more, the justice system in Trinidad and Tobago is collapsed. It's collapsing, a matter of fact. And who, at the end of the day, who had the belly to come out and say that? It needs to be fixed. Justice is not being served to many people. A matter of fact, let me just go back to the point on hand. I didn't mind to get a little steamy concerning this, but the truth needs to be said. We have a serious problem in this country. We can't allow the Prime Minister to make the Caribbean Court of Justice the last court of appeal. Nonsense. Nonsense.
You know, when I am back there, just messaging to make sure my daughter do a little studying.
So
all of you parents, you try to ensure that your children, whatever talent God bless them with, you work hard to get them
inside the Madinite meeting, this is the whole of the headquarters for the UNC. Right now the MC is back on stage, which is Anne Roberts, and I hope you all enjoying the show so far.
Because the PNF is damaging this country beyond repair. The only lady who could come and fix it one time is Kamla Persad-Bissessar, and you went to and one young blind man. You see, when you don't fair brain, it means you brag too. Kamla Persad-Bissessar was honored. She topped the class. She was the best, the brightest, law, master, anyway. So she surrounds herself with bright people because she's confident that she is still the brightest among the bright. But when you in a dance and only study rocks and stones and you can't feel confident, you need somebody like Camille who didn't take maths. You need somebody like Hans who takes 6 subjects and fails time. You need those people like Imba and Convert Girl in order to make you feel kind of alright. Bring him to the microphone. He's the current sitting MP for Sawa Barataria. He's the man who is going to be in the parliament. A man, a brilliant lawyer. He studied hard and got honors. A bright young attorney. Calling to you, the current member and the next member for Barataria San Juan.
Thank you very much. All I have to tell you now is
He's going to be the next presenter coming out right
good night, political leader, and the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Member of Parliament for Superior, Dr. Bissessar, members of the National Executive, Senators, members of Parliament, those in the local government fraternity, and most importantly, the soldiers, the honest soldiers, hard-working soldiers of the United National Congress. You have come out in your masses tonight and I can tell you I have a fever. And that fever is the election fever. Tonight's crowd feel as though that the election bell has already rung. So if it be Rowley ringing or Young ringing, we are ready and we're going to beat you. Trinidad and Tobago, we are in a state of emergency. And not because the president announced it. It is because this is a government led by Keith Christopher Rowley. We are in an emergency. Can you imagine? A state of emergency has been called. You would expect all hands to be on deck. You would expect them to be in Port of Spain, listening to the intelligence agencies, listening to all of the policy decisions that they have to make, governing from the front, leading from the front. Today they have on swim trunks and bikini in Tobago. From the diving in Fisher's Point. When Trinidad and Tobago is in a state of emergency because we heard what? There's reprisal killing in Port of Spain. We are hearing about massive amount of murders that will happen. So the night before, I think Monday was the state of emergency. Sunday night they had a Brown by the house in Tobago. And then Monday morning, bright and early, we hear state of emergency. We hear state of emergency. Keith Christopher Rowley, that is, they went on this retreat in Tobago, but after the retreat, he has surrendered. After the retreat, he has surrendered. And you know what? We don't want Rowley alone gone. It must be all. Must go. All that must go. It must go.
Complicit.
And when we really go through what the state of emergency is, it really doesn't make sense. Because these ministers are retreating. I heard the Commissioner of Police praying yesterday, and then they want us to be vigilant about what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to tell the Commissioner tonight, Madam, go out and fight crime. We will pray for you. We will pray for you. And Keith Christopher Rowley is a maha hypocrite. He's one of the biggest hypocrites I know. In 2011, this man up and down Port of Spain telling the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, if I was the Prime Minister, I would never call a state of emergency to deal with crime. He didn't call a state of emergency to deal with crime? A maha hypocrite. That is what Keith Rowley is. That is what he is. But I want to go through some statistics, because you know I like to do my research. In the last 5 days, you will think that there would have been a reduction in the number of crimes, murders, and so on. These are numbers I got from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. We had 3 murders in the state of emergency, one being an attorney at law gunned down earlier night. We had an attempted murder. We had sexual offences. We had 9 robbery with violence, 9 larceny of motor vehicles, 13 breaking and entering offences, 6 possession of firearm and ammunition, fire and ammunition found and seized 9, possession of narcotics 20, missing person 5. Over the last 5 days. These are numbers coming out of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and we are in a state of emergency. We are in a state of emergency, and I'll tell you why this state of emergency simply does not make sense. We have supported legislation in the Parliament. We told us about the number of legislation Farris brought. We said, okay, you want it, we'll give you the support. Go and fight crime. It has failed. We have supported over 35 pieces of crime fighting legislation. So do not let the PNM fool you. When you look at the emergency regulations, those are the regulations that the President would have made based on the direction given by the government in order to implement the state of emergency. So there's Regulation 8. Hear what it says. It says, any person who without lawful authority, the burden of proof as to the lawful authority laying upon him, purchases, acquires, or has in his possession any firearm, ammunition, or explosive is guilty of an offense. I find this strange. So the emergency powers regulation is telling you if you're in possession of firearms, ammunition, or explosive, you are committing an offense. You know Section 6 of the Firearms Act already makes that an offense? So the law that they placed in the emergency regulations can be found in existing legislation. And you know what is even more comical? If they charge you under the emergency powers regulation under the state of emergency, the fine is $100,000 and imprisonment for 5 years. You know, if you get charged under the Firearms Act, which is the existing law, the first offense is $500,000 and 15 years in prison. So you have an even harsher penalty under the existing law and a lesser penalty under the state of emergency law. Most of these regulations that they have proclaimed are already found in existing law. And you want the next one? Regulation 9. Big power. Gives the police to stop and search any person on the street or public place who they suspect of having a firearm, ammunition, or explosive. Section 27 of the Firearms Act. Where a police officer has reasonable cause to suspect that any person is carrying a firearm, ammunition, or pepper spray in a public place, contrary to the provisions of the Act, the police officer may search that person, may seize and retain any firearm, ammunition, or pepper spray carried by that person. The same thing in the emergency powers regulation can be found in the Firearms Act. Let me give you a next one. They talk about anti-gang legislation because this entire state of emergency was prompted because, again, of the reprisal killing. I had the opportunity to read the statement delivered by the President to the Speaker that was circulated to the parliamentarians today. Monday we will be in Parliament debating that. So they have a big power here now that they want to, under Regulation 14, to detain a person without charge on inquiries for a period of 48 hours and then extend that period for 7 days, but it must be done by an ASP or a magistrate. Do you know under the Anti-Gang Act 2021, which we supported, at section 16 says that a police officer without a warrant can detain a person not exceeding 48 hours if he has reasonable cause to believe he's committing an offense under the Anti-Gang Act. And it even goes further at 16, 5 and 6 that says that if the police needs more than 24 hours, they can go by a judge to extend it for 7 days. So it's the same exact thing in the state of emergency is found in the existing law. Keith Rowley, you should tear up all the emergency regulations because they are already in existing law. You have done nothing. You already have the laws. We gave you the support. Go out and fight crime. But I want to tell you something. You have numbered your days. We didn't number your days for you. You have numbered your days. All we are waiting for, my brothers and sisters, is for the election bell to ring. I have much more that I can tell you about the restriction. I can tell you about issues relating to the preventative detention, and they are already parts of the law that can be utilized, but they are too lazy. They are too lazy to give the police resources so that they can go to a judicial officer and get warrants. And these warrants, you don't have to tell the accused that you're going for them, you know. It is done ex parte. You go by yourself in front of the judge and say, listen, I need to get this warrant to go and lock up this man. You have gun, you have ammunition, right? So they are too lazy to implement their own law that they have passed. Now, there's the last one that he now implements is this. He gives the police now, the defense force, soldiers, the same powers of police officers to arrest, to detain, and so on. You know the same Keith Rowley, when the People's Partnership government brought a miscellaneous provision defense and police complaints bill in 2013, say that Kamla want to get soldier police. Today Keith Rowley have soldier police walking up and down Trinidad and Tobago. He is one of the biggest hypocrites I ever seen in my life. I wouldn't go so far. But my brothers and sisters, we on this side, we have the plans, we have the policies, we have the people, and most importantly, we have the leader, and we will take you into government. We will ensure that when the election bell is rung, and we will do our best to remove this rowdy-led PNM government out of power and retain Kamla Persad-Bissessar as your Prime Minister with a United National Congress government.
He's a devil, yes. Because only a devil will put a minister of health and they go clean the NICU and 28 little precious babies die and you say nothing. Only a devil will receive a Judith Jones report 3 years now about children being raped and molested and battered and do nothing. Only a devil will do that. Only a devil will treat the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago so bad. So all your spiritual people, all you say a prayer, go to your temple, go to your mosque, go to your church and pray that the devil is removed forever from the political landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. Only a devil will keep some children inside and celebrate them and ignore the ones outside. Only a devil will do that. As we talk about spiritual, I'm bringing a lady from Charlottesville, a hard-working, brilliant soldier, a lady who rose from the...
Now, the message was clear. Again, when we would have heard and listened to this whole press conference on the day that this state of emergency was mentioned in Trinidad and Tobago, we would have told you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, that The salient issue with this state of emergency is to give the police powers of arrest that they could hold you just so without a warrant and entire premises just like that without a warrant. We would have told you that. And now Saddam Hussein would have broken down this thing in such of a way that there are existing laws that could do the same thing in Trinidad. Now right there and then, you hear it from someone who is a part of the cloth. That is what he does say here. And to the fanatics that are outside here, that still believe in some glimmer of hope within this PNM, it is clear that the entire PNM administration is incompetent. And no matter why, no matter how, or no matter if they remove a leader and they replace him with someone else, the same thing still applies because the same replacement is a part of the same body of incompetence. Now these things here, we know these things in it. But at the end of the day, he does not take it seriously. 10 years of peril. 10 years of peril in Trinidad and Tobago. And we still ain't taking it lightly. Boy, tune in to the rest of the message, John. Tune in to the rest of the message and you'll see for yourself and hear for yourself the type of incompetence that it have within this administration.
And he was smoking all at this point in time, on stage right now with Journey, right? But you can feel the tension in here, you can feel how the participants, they are fed up at this time. There are people in the crowd that are calling Keith Rowley a devil. And that is the essence of what's taking place.
I am the political leader of the opposition and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad. Because the team song have changed from let's do this to small fingers took high. UNC candidates, Dr. Michael Dowler, attorneys at law, Mr. Derish Maraj, Mr. Wayne Sturge, MP, attorney at law, Saddam Hussein. UNC loyal supporters, or UNC activists who represent the best that politics has to offer. Our supporters, all 500 of you outside. NHG, the best political team. NHG, the best political team. In our first public meeting of 2025. UNC, my speech ready for this evening, one with the unfolding drama in the PNM, I didn't have to throw it to me. It was still very relevant. I too had to take a look. You couldn't escape the commentary in the media, on social media, it appears everywhere, and everyone with a phone in their hand was leaning into the Prime Minister's 6th or 7th or 8th indication that he no longer wishes to be burdened with the duties of Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Given that he would have had almost 10 years to think about it, you also would have thought he had a plan on where he exiting stage left. it is unimaginable that somebody could botch saying goodbye. And as I speak to you tonight, he ain't gone nowhere. He's still there. So all of you taking it to the Lord in prayer, Rowley's still there. But put nothing past Rowley, because simple, straightforward acts for everybody has always become complicated, mad in subterfuge and intrigue to secure vested and special interests when Keith Christopher Rowley is involved. Comparatively yesterday, I saw the news, Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister, then Prime Minister of Canada, said I'm leaving. By today midday, he gone. The news saying he's gone, and they have stopped their House of Representatives until they have paused until the 24th of March. But there's a new leader. Simple, straightforward, which rules will apply. But you know when Rowley is involved, is a whole different story. So, but I took special note of part of his farewell speech. He said, why is a new leader is chosen? He said, no, and this is no equivocation. He said, I'm going and he gone. He said, I fought for this country over my nearly 10-year premiership.
What are you fighting for?
No. This is Canada talking about the true man. We coming back here just now. This is Trudeau talking, not Keith Christopher. He can't say that. You know he can't say that. Trudeau said, everyone I've woken up as Prime Minister, I've been inspired by the resilience, generosity, and the determination of Canadians. He told journalists on Monday, I have fought for this country and I fought for you. Now, whatever flaws the Canadians found in their now former Prime Minister, he was not willing to place his country into a state of uncertainty, chaos, and disarray. Alternatively, Rowley and Tobago playing some perverse game of ring-a-ring-a roses with our country. The honored political leader stated in a recent press release, Rowley and his ministers have taken us to a failed state with a lame-duck Prime Minister and government. In fact, what has been set loose on us is a government in chaos, a government in open warfare, and a government divided against itself. The lives and livelihood of our citizens mean nothing to Rowley, who is engaging in a perverse, wicked soap opera within the PNM while the country is being destroyed. He has crashed the country and abandoned the ship after raising his salary and pension. So, the Prime Minister as he exits leaves the stench of and legacy of failure, division, and despair. He leaves the nation in darkness. As he leaves, he cannot lay claim to not one single positive achievement to his account, and that is very sad. So unlike the story of Trudeau, whatever they think about it. UNC, after almost 10 years as Prime Minister, you would have thought as one last act of contrition, he would have at least be responsible and thoughtful in his macabre long goodbye. But no, as presumably he's going through the door, he has decided that a man more odious than he is, more incompetent, more rude, more divisive, more vicious, and more uncaring has been foisted on this population. And then on top of that, his bargaining chip, whether waste a time bunch of MPs that he had there. So he has put every one of them in place because Rowley didn't dare move any of them. And he's feeling his badger. He is badger until badger reaches. He couldn't take people. You know what he's running from? All this running and ducking. He's running from a woman that is, I don't know if I feet. I don't think she's going to. You know selfish Rowley is. And he's running, and now he'll power crazy. Right? Because he'll be going up to where you're going. He's telling you that, oh God, I have to stay back to go to some CARICOM something. Listen, I don't want to spoil the thing, but I don't think nobody in CARICOM wants to see you. I don't know why you did this thing for. You understand? Just go. You understand? Give us our peace. We will deal with them. UNC, do not be fooled. Our principle is what I big trouble, little trouble. You understand? Every single one of them, we are going to take them on. Right? And it ain't done until it's done. So as a last step ever, he declares a state of emergency and couldn't even bother to show. Couldn't even bother to show up because he's still getting over the effects of the night before, you understand, the electric slide, and he treated the SOE as if it's the morning after peak. The SOE and the morning after peak is the same thing because he's busy, it's electric, boogie. To come in the back of the people. You cannot make it rowdy. I'm a woman and I know useless man. Whilst Rowley and the PNM engaging in the power struggle for him to install Rowley II without due process of his own PNM constitution, because that is all that matters to them. So much so that the much bulging PNM up stiff upper lip, all of them business in the road. They all talking about each other now. When everybody say, oh, PNM don't talk about their business. Everybody talking everybody business. And everybody has a dagger for their brother. You understand? It's a part in clear shambles. It mash up fine. Alright? So, after the announcement of Rowley's retirement and after the 5th, 6th, 7th, I stopped counting. Jennifer Baptiste, she jumped out and she's talking about she find it most disrespectful. And it is really painful to have to swallow the fact that the political leader of the PNM has no respect for the PNM. I said, Jennifer Baptiste, welcome to the two. Rowley has respect for nobody. Nobody, that is what we have been struggling for 10 years. And for 10 years we've been waiting to vote him out. And I mean, what he running? He is running out. Right here waiting to be voted out. He's running out. So you know what? We are going to vote out Stuart Young on his behalf. When the dog was sucking eggs, now they have to pay the devil. Right? The chickens have come home to roost, and the chicken name and the devil name keep Christopher around. You understand? And I don't know where you find a safe haven. So that has mashed up Trinidad and Tobago. All over. Murders over 5,000. Mothers, babies, murdered 6-year-old. Little girls such as Kylie Maloney, sleeping in her bed. 4 a.m., they kill her. Anita Guerra, 5 years old, 5 bullets in her mother's arms while combing her hair. Little Joe Modest, playing close to here in African ground, playing 9 years. They murdered that little boy while he was playing. What did Heinz say? He in the wrong place at the wrong time. Jennifer Baptiste didn't think that was disrespectful. No, it wasn't disrespectful then. It was all right because it was Rowley they were supporting. When Anissa Mohammed, 4 children killed in one night. What did she say? She said they killed them for nothing. Not one voice on the PNM was raised. That wasn't disrespectful. You see, she poor. And when you're poor in Rowley, Trinidad and Tobago, what do they call it? They call it criminal. They call it criminal. They have no chance for you. That was not disrespectful to Madam Jennifer Baptiste, Junior and Marilyn. Last one I'm going to call tonight. Emmanuel from Mamoral. I walked in the raid with them. Their daughter disappeared in 2021. Is it or 2018? They found a piece of clothing they identified. Up to now, they can't get forensic to put these people mind at ease. Over 6 years. The newspaper and all, they write front page stories. Not one of those people in the PNM respect the Emmanuel family enough to put their mind at ease, to give them the forensic proof they need. So they leave an ex-murderer to live his best life, while their daughter will never come home again. But that will never happen under empathetic Prime Minister called Kamla Persad-Bissessar. I know your heart is pure love. She bad to the bone, you know. She don't like it when I say so, but it's true. Alright? So don't test her. She little but she tell her. Gave police, teachers, and port workers 4% and only gave himself 47%. It didn't have no disrespect. Mothers cannot purchase food today to send their children to school. If it's 4 children, they're sending them in shift. 2 today, 2 on Wednesday. You understand? And they're working hard. They are not disrespected. They are disrespected. The country stood back and look on in wonder whilst they built an entire Balanced house. $150 million. And what they tell us is the proceed of raffle, Benny and Tulu ball. Yeah? Benny went Tulu and Benny ball. You understand? That's what they tell us. That was not disrespectful. and 5,000 online watching. You know what they're watching? They are saying, UNC, we need you. Yes. UNC, we love you. Yes. UNC, we are going to take you. Steps in the sun, we are going to carry you. UNC, keep the faith. You don't take chin up. We will win this. The people of this country will not fall for Rowley's disrespect. They are overjoyed to see Rowley go. And they are not going to take on this avatar who is made in his image and likeness. Do not be deterred by the naysayers who don't wish us well. Those who have counted you out for 9 years, it is what it is. UNC, value yourself, your unfortunate contribution and dedication to your country, your loyalty, your kindness and generosity, which has yielded you now an opportunity to take on the biggest bully. We have already run him out of town. So we are going to take out bully number 2 and get him out of town. Do not apologize for standing for your party and your leader, because you did not come this far only to come this far. Let's go and secure victory, UNC. Thank you, man.
PCU 2362, put your hand quick, please, thank you. Now they asked, about 3 days ago, I hear Rowley talk about legacy, and the media asking Rowley about 45 years of legacy and something. Let me tell you something, the mass media is so dishonest. When I tell you that each one of you have to join together and vote strong, you have to understand what we're fighting. We're not only fighting the evil PNM, we're fighting the mass media, we're fighting the PNM EBC, we're fighting media that will print lies and uphold a devil and make you feel he's a prime minister. That is a serious fight. So we can't splinter. Not one vote must go anywhere else but under the UNC and Kamla Persad-Bissessar. All vote together. And I asked them quite politely, very diplomatically. I said, please, PNM, tell me just one policy thought that came into Keith Christopher Rowley's mind and came out in a cabinet. No, just one in his 45 years. Whether he was Minister of Integrated Planning, Minister of Marine Affairs, Agriculture, Housing, or 9 years, painful years of Prime Minister, I said, give me one policy that he helped somebody.
Fake oil.
Not one policy to help any citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. His legacy is to help himself and create a web of corruption around your money. His legacy is being a teacher and impregnating a girl school age. His legacy is landed. His legacy is Las Alturas. His legacy is Greenville. His legacy is Edinburgh. His legacy is Innergate. His legacy is Fake Oil. His legacy is Nelson Gate. His legacy is Bridgman Gate. His legacy is Red Coach. Now I don't have so much time, but I'll tell you, the lady that I'm bringing here has a legacy, 41 years in politics, and I need about 2 hours to tell you all of the policies that she implemented from her mind through the cabinet to the Ministry of Finance, to implementation, to put food in single mothers, to give baby milk grant, to save children lives, to build schools, to build highways, to put sports, to give office, to give engineering, to give education, to give grants, to put food tax. Over 100 policies from Kamla Persad-Bissessar for you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and that is why we will all unite and vote Kamla strong, vote UNC strong, and obliterate the PNM. I now bring to you the featured speaker of the night, the first female Attorney General, the best Minister of Education in this country's history, the first female political leader of a major party, the first female and the best Prime Minister this country has ever seen, the first female leader of the opposition, and soon to be the first female to return
say anything.
government fraternity. And tonight,
Before we had Jane John, and her message was Rowley. It's time to go. And then we had Anna Roberts. There's our accolades of the different things.
we have come
But now,
from a very dark year
Kamla
last year,
Persad-Bissessar. Please enjoy the show.
2024. And now we enter this new year, 2025. We are into 2025. And I want to tell you, and we will now forward together triumphantly into 2025 to win this election. So Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year. So top of the news. Okay. Thank you, Melvin. Thank you so much. Today, the PNM replaced a lazy, greedy, selfish old man with an equally lazy, greedy, selfish young man as his leader. And they did their best, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris impression, by undemocratically appointing, anointing, and picking a successor to the prime minister. And just like Biden and Kamala Harris, they're going to get licking of their lives in this general election. So now he will leave as prime minister without a single achievement in his name. In 10 years, prime minister, other years in politics, this man has created nothing. He has built nothing. He has developed nothing. He leaves a legacy instead of death and destruction. He leaves debt owing money. He leaves a legacy of failure, a legacy of oppression, laziness, greed, bullying, and incompetence. That is his legacy of this person who has built nothing, created nothing, and developed nothing. I see them going to turnkey and open places. And Dr. Mullah, those are things we built. Those are things that we did in our term. They want to take credit, but they're so incompetent that they cannot follow through with implementation. So that is where Rowley and Stewart have many similarities. Stewart also has the same legacy for his 10 years in government. He's Minister of Everything, who has achieved nothing. Minister of Communications failed at that ministry. Minister of National Security failed. And then he was, as I said, National Security, the crime, the murders continued to escalate. Minister of Energy, he destroyed the oil and gas sector. He was outsmarted every time with the multinationals. Remember, they went up to Houston and said they were the best salesmen, they were snake oil salesmen. Because at the end of the day, they collapsed the energy sector. The manner in which Rowley has now taken this minion and foisted him onto our great country is the most tainted he is, despised member of his cabinet. This is an affront to the democracy of Trinidad and Tobago. It is a move that emulates the patterns after very infamous dictators worldwide. Some of you are young like me and will remember when the late Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez, he picked up Nicolas Maduro as a successor. And it led to the collapse of Venezuela and their democracy. It was long evident and came as no surprise that Stewart Young, a vulgar politician, idiot, who was Rowley's illegal lawyer just a decade ago, and was given a safe PNM seat in 2015, that is Rowley's preferred replacement. Like a typical dictator, Rowley has shown no regard for the rule of law, no regard for democratic processes, no regard for his own members, far less for us who are not his members. So what he's done, he went ahead with his very devious scheme to install his hand-picked puppet to enable him, Rowley, to continue controlling this country. And the PNM, through his retirement, he calls it, rides off into the sunset with $1 million back pay, with a 47% increase in his salaries, which he'll get then as his pension for the rest of his life. He rides off into the sunset. It's like, the ship is sinking, and this man jump on a lifeboat, but he makes sure and fill his pockets fast. So, Stuart Young now has also failed at every post he's held in government. As I said, national security, energy. He's the architect of our country's most failed and disastrous energy policies. Look at Point Lisas. I listened to Mr. Rowley in one of his press briefings, and he said that his greatest legacy is in the energy sector and Point Lisas. Imagine that. How many plants have shut down in Point Lisas? How many have fled and run away? And he counts that as a legacy, this man living in La La Land. He's living in a fantasy world. He has no legacy. The only legacy that he has is one for death and destruction and destroying our economy. So here's Young now. Here's Gary Sobers, his gopher. I don't know what that gopher holds in that bag when he's tooting his head.
Gary Sobers was a success story, not him.
Yeah, well, that's another story. It's a different kind of Gary Sobers. And here now, we have this Minister of Energy being handpicked and anointed. I want you to remember this. What goes on in the PM, that is their business. But you must respect the democracy and the rule of law. And we should not stomach someone handpicking out his gopher to name him his successor. This man's family links to drug dealing.
What?
You remember that? His daughter, stepdaughter, is before the courts on serious criminal charges, serious charges for 15 million in cocaine and marijuana. This should automatically disqualify Stuart Young. In public life. The PNM selected a man with drug dealing family members to lead them. And then you'll see another link, a family link again. Linked Rowley governments, these schemes with family ties again. The fact that Young's brother, his company, remember that?
Yes.
NCD Global Finance was given state funds, you know how much? $4 billion taxpayer dollars. You all remember that? You must remember these things. So when you want to come here and pose, you're going to the Prime Minister, what is the benefit to your family now? Is he a financier? Is his brother a financier? Is any family member a financier with PNM?
Money launderer.
And so it's $4 billion, taxpayer dollars, your dollars, not theirs, $4 billion. And that further, in my respect of view, marks this man, Stuart Young, as a very dangerous pick for public life, since taxpayers' dollars will not be safe under his watch. Let's move along. Young, who is also a member of the oppressive eater food elite of our country, has recused himself from the cabinet how many times? Recused himself from the cabinet how many times? Over 101 times.
Shameless.
Do you understand why you recuse yourself from a meeting of the cabinet? Some of you do, and if you don't, let me explain, because it's very important. It means that you have a conflict of interest of the decision being taken in the cabinet. There's a so you step out, but here it's a revolving door. So he walks outside, the friends and family and the MPs sit down there, the 12 of them who vote for him today, they sit down inside that cabinet and say, yes, go ahead with that contract. Go ahead with whatever it is. Go ahead. He runs back inside, sits down in the cabinet, the door spins again, and Farris walks up. And then again, they sit together and they say, yes, agreed.
Approved.
This building approved, that contract approved. That is a revolving door. This whole cabinet is sucking this country dry. And just make sure to vote them out. You have to vote them out. disastrous, failed tenure in government, that he has no empathy. You know what I'm going to boy? To feel sorry for people. He has no empathy, he has no compassion. He has no consideration. He has no liking for the majority of citizens in this country. None. Throughout his whole life in Parliament, he has shown blatant contempt for the citizens of our country at every opportunity. And you know, this was especially underscored when the former PNM Attorney General, who is the current Speaker of the House, Bridget Anisette George, she had to reprimand Young for his unprecedented disrespect and abusive behavior in the Parliament last year. That is a man you want for your Prime Minister. The answer is no. We must vote them out. We must vote them out. We must all. This is the man that the Prime Minister now endorses. And the PNM MPs themselves assisted 10 years of destruction and oppression. So let's get this right, let's get it right. Whilst we stand up here outside and we talk about rowdy, remember Saddam said it's all have to go. Every single one of them. Because they sat in that cabinet for 10 years and allowed the oppression. They allowed the destruction of our nation, of our little children, of our women. And Stuart Young, I am a woman. And I'm asking all women here, if you love yourselves, do not support Stuart Young because he hates women. That is why he made that statement in the Parliament when his own speaker had to reprimand him. I was most surprised, but let's give her big. That she had the guts and the belly to stand up and reprimand him openly in the Parliament. I don't know what they will do to her after that, but time will tell. So here's a person now being endorsed. This is the same Prime Minister who cancelled the PNM's internal elections. You remember last year when people wanted to choke me and kill me to call internal party elections? You all remember that?
Before it was you.
I am the only party now who has held internal elections democratically. But nobody said nothing. The man just cancelled the thing. To do what? To handpick and anoint. Handpick and anoint. When you could do that in blatant open air in front of the whole country, what next can he do or has done? So he shut down the PNM Convention. He now wants to undermine our democracy by passing the will of the people. I say the people of TNT deserve better. They deserve a leader accountable to them, not the financiers or political cronies. The people must choose the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in a free and fair election. The next Prime Minister must not be chosen behind closed doors in the shadows of a private retreat. Must not be chosen. Prime Minister, MPs, ministers must be chosen by you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, in a free and fair election. And that is why whoever comes, whichever one, whether it be Penny, whether it be Foster, whether it be Young, today is Young, tomorrow will be the next one, you never know. And the next one might be Rowley himself. He will try every other soon. You'll never know where this man is. He's a very manipulative person. So I stand here as I say that you, the people of our great nation, must not tolerate this assault on our democracy. So you might sit in the seat for a few days, but that bell will ring. That bell will ring, and you must not allow Stuart Young to sit in that seat as an anointed Prime Minister. Must not happen. What we must do, what we have to do, we have to vote them out. We will rise above this moment of authoritarianism, and we must ensure that TNT's future remains in the hands of you, the people. A government of the people, a government by the people, and a government for the people. That is what the UNC will give you. That is what we offer to you. And tonight I say UNC, Philip Alexander is here. We will work with them. Because they will stand for a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And how do we get that? We must make sure when that bell rings, what do? Vote them out. Vote them out.
Government is here.
The UNC is ready. Yes. We are prepared to lead. We are prepared to govern with integrity, to deliver the change our country desperately needs. But first, we demand what the people deserve. And what do we deserve? They must call the elections now. We must give to you, the people, your constitutionally enshrined right to choose a prime minister rather than to accept a dictator's personal, outrageous, dangerous, incompetent pick of his successor. And I say today again, we demand Rowley, according to JJ, go now. If you're going, just go. Just go. Just go and call the election. Now, what you having a vote for? What are you staying to do? To go to a CARICOM meeting? Since when that was important to you? Why are you staying? Why do you want to keep your country in a state of limbo? Why do you want to keep our nation in stasis, in a no-place land? You're neither in heaven nor in hell. We are swinging like Tarzan on a branch somewhere. Call the election now. Call the election now. And before you even call an election, I call upon you again to write to the regional and international observers, to send observers to observe this next general election. When I raised this matter, he came to the Parliament, Rowley, and he said, I have the letter draft already, you know. I'm going to send to CARICOM, you remember? I have it ready to sign. Did you sign it yet? Have you sent it to CARICOM? If yes, show it to us. And if you're going to CARICOM, carry a letter in your pocket and give it to the CARICOM. For the observers, we must demand every single day. As we demand call the elections, we have to demand also bring in the observers for this election. Because they could thief this whole election, you know. They could thief it, and you all better be vigilant. Do not become complacent and say, oh, we're going to win. Look at people here tonight. No, no, no. We have to do the work on the ground. We have to have boots on the ground, and we have to work every single seat. Don't get carried away. Don't get chained up. We have not won until the last vote is counted. So I call upon UNC people today, or tonight, hit the ground, boots on the ground. Whatever little differences you have, you didn't get your seat on your vex. No, no, no. When we win, everybody wins. When the UNC win, everybody wins. And tonight, can I big up Anna Roberts again? When we gave the seat to Devish, Anna said, I am a team player, fully on board, and I really praise it. Mash up, we think that's like Rowley. We can't get everything, just mash it up. Let us not be like that. I say it again, when the UNC wins, everybody wins in this country. We said many a call, but there's not that one. For seats, many a call and only one is chosen. But when all those chosen ones win this battle, then there will be room and space at the table for every single one. So not just one position, not just a seat. There are thousands of positions to be had, but first what we have to do? We have to win. So I share that with you, and I'm not going to spend too much time on Stuart Young and Roll. Waste our time, waste our time. Just tell them goodbye, okay? Say bye-bye, bye, bye, help me. Some other important matters, and in the weeks to come we have many, many bright people, brilliant people, and we'll be rolling out we will resume screening very shortly. And Rory has said that to he going CARICOM, and when he come back he wants to enjoy Carnival. I said, no, he said that, The same Akash somebody talk about, I think Akash asked him. And Saddam said, come to enjoy Carnival, and after Carnival you'll see what next, okay? So I said, don't be surprised that man backtracking. Backtrack, it's very possible. So we don't know the timeline, what he has in mind. As I say, on Monday, Saddam mentioned it, we will be dealing with the proclamation for the emergency in the Parliament, and the presidential statement, and the motion to adopt the state of emergency for another 30 days. Did you read it? I think it's 30 days. 3 months. So we'll deal with that on Monday. So I will not spend too much time on SOE. Saddam has done quite well in the short time that he has. I thank him very much. Now, I raised with you people right here when a meeting passed back, one of our Monday nights here. And I talked to you all about what was happening with something called the pension bill. Remember that? Yes. So I'm saying this year is about your rights. It is not right, I'm saying, that the government has been in place 10 years and people have benefited nothing. Nothing. Nada, zilch, nothing, zero, nothing. Instead they've taken from you. You have not benefited. It is not right for a government to be in place and about 624 people murdered last year alone. That is their legacy too. We have about 5,000 people murdered under Rowley's government and this PNM government. It is not right for PNM MPs to give themselves and Rowley a salary, pension, increase and back pay, and you give everybody else 4%. It could never be right for this wicked government to take away pensions from the elderly if they manage just happen to save $25,000. That's what they said. You will not get your old age pension if you happen to have more than 25. If you have $25,000. But this set up PNM MPs, so not Rory alone, I'm making the point again, they sat at that table and approved that bill. So many of them sitting around that table, that bill went to that cabinet on more than one occasion. So they don't read. When I raise it, oh no, it's a mistake. Guess what? It's some public servant write it in. You ever hear that? You ever hear a lie? That is a lie. That could never happen unless they felt that we would not pick it up. And I remind you again how it happened. We were in the last sitting last year. It was not even on the order paper. They put it in and slip it in on the last minute, just before we went off on the recess for Christmas. What do you think? We don't read, we read everything. So it's telling you that too, we read. And from the time I left that Parliament chamber, we walked into my conference, I told Nicholas Morris, I said, pull that, I want to see what that bill is. So they didn't give us, it's up on the system, the rotunda, on the soft copy. Pull it up and let me see what this thing is about. Something is not right here. No, I am such a kind person. My first instinct was that this bill was that they were going to raise pensions because it's election year coming. So I said, wait. So still there worrying what's going to happen, but glad that they raise it. Only to find out what they're doing, they're taking away people's pension. As I said, we fall into this new year. We must go there triumphantly. Will you help us, pensioners? You have to come out to preserve and protect your pension. You have to come out to preserve it. Together, we must march together to remove this wicked government. I said then it could never be right for them to want to do that. And then they tell us, the city bill withdrawn. You hear that? Another lie. They said the bill is withdrawn. Well, today I got a piece of paper. It's called the House of Representatives Order Paper. This is for the sitting on Monday, the 13th of January. That's Monday, that's the next sitting. Guess what's on this order paper? Pensions bill. It's right here. It's there. So they want you to feel they withdrew it, but they did not. Look at here. Bill's second reading. A bill entitled, An Act to Amend the Senior Citizens Pension Act, Chapter 3202, and the Public Assistance Act, Chapter 3203. on the order paper for the next sitting of the House. So they want the whole country to believe that we threw the bill. But you see, some of us don't read. Some of us are a little brighter than some of them. Because there is a process to withdraw a bill. You don't just stand up in a press conference and say, bill withdrawn. Where you living? Where you think this is? You have to go through the process. And there is a standing order, it's known as Standing Order 77. And that is so clear. So clear. Well, Amma was in Parliament too long, so I could probably forgive him. And then he has lied to him. Also. He also lied himself. Lied for himself. This is what Standing Order 77 says. The member in charge of a bill may, by leave of the House, withdraw the bill at any stage. With what? Leave of the House. So you can't stand up in a platform and stand up in a press and say, bill withdraw. No. Go and read your standing order. You didn't read the bill in the first place. But at least find out how to withdraw the bill, how to do it properly. And that is why it's still on the order paper. I call upon them, Monday in Parliament, stand up and officially withdraw the bill in the Parliament. When you come on Monday, withdraw it. So if you have to follow the standing orders, which is the procedures for us in the House, in the Parliament, you must come on the floor of the Parliament, on the floor of the House, and then seek the leave of the House, and they have the majority, of course, the simple majority. Well, I'm not even sure, because after this 12-9 and 11-9, I don't know how they vote today. I'm being told it was 12-9, some say it's 11-9. Well, if it's 9/11, it don't happen on 9/11. The World Trade Center collapsed, and the mighty PLM shall also collapse. So they have the majority in the Parliament, and of course we will support it. So they must come and seek leave of the House to withdraw the bill. And again say, Monday come, we will give you the votes as well. If your people didn't come out 11 and 9 and so on, we will support it and make sure this bill is officially withdrawn. So, you have no shame. And again I say every single pensioner. And if you are not a pensioner, you have a relative. You have a family, as I say, who is a pensioner. Let us all join together. Because should they steal this election and go back into office, I've warned you already, they will bring it back, you know. Yes. They will bring this back just as they'll raise your water rate and raise this rate and raise that rate. And I want to tell you something I'm reading just yesterday or the day before, where they are publishing certain promises they made in the last budget of things that they will do. What is it called? Finance bill things. Promises that they made. So fiscal measures, the fiscal measures. So they published a tally yesterday, 2 days ago, about exemptions on sporting equipment. Well, I have a nice point to ask you. Sporting equipment. That's the one I saw a few days ago. What will be exempt from the taxes, the duties? And guess what? Golfing.
Oh yeah. Well, that's obvious.
If that's not so bad, you know which one really shocked me? No, why do you want to bring that to be? I'm talking about taxes on sporting goods. I'll come to electric maybe tomorrow. So we have golfing. Yachting went in last rounds. Yachting too. We did it before. Yes. Exemptions on yachting issues. The next one is something called fencing. Anybody here in fencing? Do you even know what is fencing? Fencing. So I'm talking this with somebody, they said the last time they hear about fencing is down at Barkpo, where fellas with cutlass. Fencing, but they would not give you lesson taxes or exemptions on what? On food, on the cost of food. They will not take away or lessen the property tax. They will not deal with the online tax. What is it? Tire tax, all these taxes, that's their only way of governing. They have no revenue streams, so what they do? Tax, borrow, and spend, and wait. When they go to office, we have to pay back. They talk about taxes taken off of fencing. How many people fence in this country, right?
Fencing.
And golfing, well, we know one for sure. Golfing. But the taxes you should be looking at is VAT on food. Yes. VAT on food, VAT on food, that's what we should talk about. People can't buy meals, they can't feed their families. And that is where they are at. So, as I continue, as our time draws to an end, I want to share one other matter with you, or maybe two. Right. The 2024 regulations that I'm referred to, the Emergency Powers Regulations, the SOE regulations, in the main are a copy and paste from the 2011 SOE regs that we did. In the main, largely. And yet, it took this cabinet a whole day. They're just copying and pasting, so how incompetent they are. They announced this thing first, some press release came out early in the morning, Monday. It came out on a piece of paper that was not even official paper with any official markings on it. Then so they put that out first. And then they had a press conference, right? And at that press conference, they told us, we will have this done within the hour, soon, publish it. By night time, I'm looking for these, because this is what gives the SOE its strength, its power. Not put up until sometime 7:30 or 8 in the night. What took them so long? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, and then that is only limited circulation, because it would not have gone there, in the Gazette and so on, for public knowledge. And it took them a whole day to just copy and paste this thing, and when they did that, they even got it wrong. So they put out regulations, they already amended the regulations. They already made an amendment, meaning change it to add or take away as the case may be, and before they're done, they'll be amended far more provisions in there. But that's not the only thing about this, So you announced it in the morning. You have no regulations in place. So therefore, any actions taken under that SOE would be what? Illegal, null and void, because you have no empowering regulations for you to take action. But that's not the worst part of it. When you announce this thing so early in the morning and you don't have the regs in place till the night, you have something called tipping off. Yes. All the fellas with the guns, the ammunition, the drugs, guess what? You give them a whole day tip off to move and carry. I remember once Ferris, they told me I was tipping off Marley McDonald. Some case they wanted bring on the poor girl. Tipping off, that is where you told them before. You had no regulations to implement. So what do you think them big boys were going to do? They move out everything? They had a whole day to remove them. So I don't think this section in the Constitution, which is Article 7, for the emergency powers, Section 7 of our Constitution, that was not intended to empower the President to amend the Constitution or displace entrenched provisions. That should be read as giving just enough power to have what they talk about in law, a legitimate aim. So what they've done in these regs as well, Saddam, they have taken away habeas corpus jurisdiction of the High Court by regulations. Lawyers says, look at that, I've been definite, you cannot do that. Because if there's an entrenched provision in the Constitution, a regulation cannot remove it. You have to go to the Parliament and pass it, law, with the requisite majority. So this can only be done under Section 7, they have no such words. The tribunal they've set up is only advisory. It was never intended to replace the jurisdiction of a judge of the court. Talking a little too much law, but understand me, they've taken away this provision that would have allowed you to go to a court to enforce your rights and to get justice by regulations. They cannot do it. Now, I have a concern with Regulation 11. This has to do with the guns. Where they say you come and you surrender your gun, okay, under Regulation 12. Let me read it for you. No person who surrenders any firearm, and I'm going somewhere with this, it's not just low here, this is going at people right now, some wicked people. No person who surrenders any firearm, ammunition, or explosive during any period prescribed, and otherwise in accordance with an order to surrender, no person shall be prosecuted under the Firearms Act or regulation for illegally purchasing, acquiring, or possessing such firearm, ammunition, or explosive. This is saying, hey, bring it in, okay? Now there are two kinds of sections under the Firearms Act. One which says there are certain weapons that you cannot have in your possession, you cannot acquire and so on, but unless you have something called an FUL, your license. But there's another category of weapons, they're known as prohibited weapons. So no FUL, no commercial will sign a permit for nobody as a civilian to have. That is only for people in the protective services, okay? Bear along here with me. Now, we had that provision in our SOE way back in 2011, but we never implemented it. Because that, if you want to implement that again, you have to come to Parliament and pass a law by special majority vote. Because if you have a crime, possessing this prohibited weapon, you can't take away a crime. You cannot exonerate a criminal who had possession of a prohibited weapon by a simple regulation. So 11 is in effect a kind of gun amnesty. And what it does is to unlawfully close down, fetter the discretion of the DPP under Section 90 of the Constitution. That section is one of those provisions to which Section 54(3) of the Constitution applies. So it means it is deeply entrenched. You cannot change it by regulation. You cannot change it by simple, we call it act of Parliament. Must be a special majority to the houses, the Senate and the House. Cannot do it under regulation. So tonight I ask this. Why did you include Regulation 11 to give what I'm calling a gun amnesty, which is to say, if you bring in the gun, the prohibited gun, it's all right, fellas, bye, nice, well done, good boy. Why did you put it there? Is there any senior government official under investigation for possessing a prohibited weapon? Prohibited might be a young person, old person, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm asking, is there any investigation?
Same person might be young.
Government official under investigation for possessing a prohibited weapon under the Firearms Act. And is this Regulation 11 is to ease them up and say, good boy, well done, bring it home, drop it on the desk. Who from the TTPS approved a permit to purchase this rifle? Who? Who is the dealer who imported this automatic firearm and sold it to a senior official? So is this proposed Regulation 11 aimed at helping senior officials, senior TTPS officials, gun dealers, evade prosecution for possession of this prohibited automatic firearm? My lawyers and I are looking at writing to the DPP formally about this provision because I suspect it is intended to protect some very high up office holders. So we will not let that go, we shall pursue it. And then I move now for the person who applied for a permit. High government official again, not the young one. Maybe I'm not so young one. High government official applies for a permit for a gun. Now when a prime minister get up every morning to go golfing, fly all over the world, this is a man, prime minister, during his term of office, has stayed out of Trinidad for over 407 days. You remember that? Out of the country. More than a year has been also gallivanting. He could spend time lying in Tobago. Clearly, he is a man who doesn't care about his duties. He has been happy like Papi. He's been looking after his financier, family and friends, while gangs with illegal firearms are murdering court prosecutors. Every day the Prime Minister and the National Security Minister keeps telling you that guns and ammunition are the problem. They keep harping that there are too many guns. He went so far that he said he banned the purchase of guns from the US, so this man, he really hates guns, okay? Banned it. He wanted to join our country with other countries to sue the gun manufacturers in the US, you all remember that?
Yeah.
To sue them. See, we swear this man wants nothing to do with guns.
Sure.
Under this PNM, businessmen cannot get a legal gun to protect their businesses, to protect their families. Prison officers, police officers cannot get a legal gun to protect themselves off duty. Judicial officers and staff cannot get a gun to protect themselves. I was told only yesterday morning that in addition to the prosecutors not wanting to go to work because of the fear, that have now been told that certain judicial officers are under threat from criminal elements. We have to give them legal guns to protect themselves. Judicial officers cannot get guns to protect themselves. Prosecutors, as I said, as a people, DPP's office and so on. Farmers can't get a firearm to protect themselves on their crops. The commissioner of police put firearms license on hold for almost 1 year and a half. Legal, huh? Legal. Rowley and the commissioner, they've been auditing everyone since 2021. To get an FUL, you had to go and sue the commissioner of police. You have to sue the commissioner, others are doing it, they're doing it. Let me remind you, last year, the Express exposed the government's blatant corruption. When it was revealed that Rowley and Stuart Young, when Young was security minister, had sent messages to former police commissioner Gary Griffin about granting a FUL license and a blasting license. Yeah, for the friend, the good friend, the Tobago man, Alan Mona. I think Dr. Monila showed us all the messages. And there it is corruption and abuse and misuse of office. The message was sent in the morning to get the thing for Alan Mona, and by evening, sent off to the Prime Minister's special branch to deliver it. Same day. Someone else tonight talk about justice and fairness. There is about justice and fairness, where things are happening for your friends and your family. And so the average law-abiding citizens are denied the right to access legal firearms. I repeat tonight that the UNC commits that we will bring stand-your-ground laws and we will bring laws for the right to bear arms so you can protect your wife, your children, your family. They attacked me when I said, if you see a bandit, a criminal, your wife or your child raping your wife or child, what you do? Police are forced to say, empty the clip, empty the clip. Let us give them legal firearms. What you will do is say, hold up the fellow man, I have to check what is reasonable force. By that time, your wife, your daughter, your son is gone. So I can recommit tonight, and I don't care who vexed, lost. I don't care. We must give our people the right to protect their families. So in July 2024, Rowley came to Parliament. He cited cases from a report by retired Assistant Commissioner of Police Arthur Barrington and retired Chief of Defence Staff Rear Admiral Hayden Pritchard. He cited this report in July 24. The report allegedly found some police officers were involved in the lucrative business side of the acquisition and trading of civilians. The Prime Minister claimed this introduced risks, and I quote his words from a news report. He said, the manipulation of the process for personal gain, as well as serious matters of conflict of interest arises. The manipulation of the process for personal gain. So when he hung down Gary Griffin for the gun for his, and the blasting things for his friend, wasn't that for personal gain? I have another example tonight, which speaks about this Prime Minister's callous and selfish actions. It is shocking in a country besieged by crime, the Prime Minister's priority remains what? Himself. It was an article August 24, 2022. Griffith says the minister harassed him for a firearm approval to kill pigs. You remember that? August 2022. I'm quoting from the article. Former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith has called on Prime Minister Dr. Rowley to tell the country who is the government minister who sought to get Griffith to fast-track approvals for firearms for the minister to be able to kill pigs. Quoted from the article. You should tell the country who is a very senior government minister that harassed me constantly to provide explosives for a friend in Tobago, etc., etc. Who was the person who harassed me to get special firearms for himself to kill pigs? And his list of friends together, long and distinguished, harassed me to get firearms fast-track for them. That was the article. This article was published August 2022. Let's fast forward now to August 2023. When the Prime Minister applied for a permit from Police Commissioner Kamla Persad-Bissessar to import a gun called Blitzkörner Captive Bolt Stunner 9mm for killing pigs and goats. What? While he and Erla were refusing to give law-abiding citizens the license. In August 2023, Kamla Persad-Bissessar granted the Prime Minister the approval to purchase the firearm. Look on the screen, you'll see a picture, you see it? That's the firearm. The Blitzkörner. Look at it. It doesn't look like a conventional gun, but it is a gun. It uses 9mm cartridges without the projectile. Farmer Rowley requested a permit to import a device to kill animals. A captive bolt device is used for slaughtering animals, ranging from small pigs to bulls. And we do know Farmer Rowley has a goat farm, if I'm not mistaken. Interview. A retracting bolt is fired into the head. This is a height of hypocrisy. So let me call it Mahai, correct? Mahai. This is a height of hypocrisy. In one breath, the Prime Minister condemns manipulation for personal gain, prevents law-abiding people from getting license and firearms, but he has no problem manipulating the process for himself and his friends. His priority is clear: abusing and interfering with independent offices for personal gain. But it doesn't end there. He applied for the gun. He also applied for 500 rungs of cartridges. 500 rungs. I don't know how much goat and sheep it is. 500 rungs. When normally I'm told, you say 40, I'm told I say 40 to 50 rungs. I want you to look at the screen. I'm not making this up. There is a permit. There is a permit. Keith, Christopher, Keith, Goodwin Park, etc., etc. Use of estate, one Blitzkörner Captive Bolt Stunner, and when you go down, you see 500 wrong cartridges. That's about it. Who is the standby? Christopher. Help me, please, sir. Special branch, someone in special branch. Anyway, it was sent to, normally you go to the police station, a normal human being, and you go put in the application, then the police station, they check it and they sign it and say, okay, this went straight to some superintendent of police. But what I also find interesting, I don't know what happened with this, we seem to have cut off the button. Where it is, the cabinet secretary, her name is down there, acting cabinet secretary. We see it on that permit. I don't know what cabinet has to do with that. Secretary to the cabinet. So there it is. Hypocritical it is now. Don't want no one else to get, but you get 500 rounds. Your friend Alan Moore get it, and who else knows? God alone knows whom else. But whatever happens in darkness always comes to light. And so bit by bit, when we get it, we will expose them. Look at that permit. The Commissioner of Police, they sent it to the Senior Superintendent Special Branch, and the Acting Secretary of the Cabinet, spending their time working on a permit for a gun to kill pig and goat. Well, every day, it's a never-ending horror story. People have been gunned down, homes invaded, throats slit, robberies and so on. Look, I have no issue if the Prime Minister wanted and got a special gun to kill animals. But it's not just a selfish act. It is very hypocritical. Rory Stan is guilty of interfering with the entire police commissioner selection process. Stemming from that scandal, accusations of corruption with the FERs led to the formation of another committee filled with hand-picked individuals. So while people in TNT are being slaughtered, they can't get a legal firearm. The Prime Minister's priority is to look after his goods on his sheep. Last month, remember, criminals used a kitchen knife to kill a 60-year-old woman, Amina Mohammed. They invaded a peaceful home, robbing, murdering her. Hours before this atrocity, criminals invaded home of Marval pensioner Bertram Greenaway and slit his throat. The murder of Special Prosecutor Randall Hector. Hours into the state of emergency sends the message that criminals are in charge. You remember Shamfa could just stand up in the parliament pointing up in our face and what she said? Boasted, we are in charge. Madam, today the criminals are in charge in Trinidad and Tobago. You're not. The criminal element for too long. UNC government will tackle this decade and stand firm against the criminals. I pledge to you tonight as a mother. I see your children as my own children. I want them to live in a safe nation filled with opportunities to grow and prosper. And this is why I say to you tonight, we must make sure when that bill is wrong, that we vote them out every single one of them, every single one. So they're in shambles, they've lost their way. But they will come back and lie and try to mama guy and fool you again. Lie, cry, and mama guy. Don't get chained up this time, don't get chained up again at all, at all, at all. And tonight I say, let's get rid of him, but let's get rid of Camille, let's get rid of every single one, Stuart Young, everyone, all. Every single one must go. And I want to tell you this, we have seen, and we must not forget, that the whole cabinet was responsible for the highest murder rates in our history. The whole cabinet was responsible for the highest food prices in our history. They're all responsible for the $3 billion that's still missing. And this is the Prime Minister, as he told us, he said, the rich will get richer. Rich. Not one PNM MP stood up and said no to the 4%. But they stood up and said yes to the 47% increase on the back pay. And the higher pension, yes, they said they all agreed to that in their cabinet. Not one of these people rejected our SRC report for those increases. Not one of them said no to the property tax, remember that? So they're all complicit, they even tried to be complicit, all that. They're all in this together, they're all in that together. They're all responsible for our mess. So don't just blame Rowley alone for their negligence. No matter how many plasters the PNM put on those sores, the scars are still there. The pain is still there. And the only way to get rid of that pain and suffering is to do what? Vote them out. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they send to lead the PNM on election day. All, I say it again, must go. Get that into your brain. All. Vote them out. What do we do? Vote them out. They're trying all the tricks in the book. Public is looking on. And all we can see, watching the soap opera, is how the mighty have fallen. What is in the darkness always comes to light. It is clear that the PNM lied to us. They said every nasty and destructive thing they could find to say about UNC. Now it's all coming to light. All the lies. Nothing new to lie and accuse about. So they have no campaign. They have no campaign. Because guess what? God don't sleep. God doesn't sleep. God doesn't sleep. So my friends and all, I said, we have come out of a very dark period, a decade of darkness, of horror, death and destruction. We call it a decade. We are going into a new year in 2025. And I know that once we work together and stay together, that we fall into this 2025 triumphantly into victory. the sun will rise again. The sun will rise again. God bless you, and I thank you very much. Thank you so much.
I feel like
How can I help you all?
Of course, you know, Christian, of course, you know, that kind of person that just can't get easy enough for. So, you know, we had a review last time, we got a lot of views, and so it is afternoon, and we just had to come back and talk to you again.
What do you all want to know?
Well, I hear you say, you had enough, and now you have to go.
Definitely.
Understand? We can just say a few words to the people that hope to sit on the couch.
Well, I mean, we have two principles. Get out the vote, GOTV, and get off the damn couch. I mean, and see, I'm not a hardcore politician, meaning when I'm in office, and everybody will tell you that, I am there as a professional, and there for everybody, because this country belongs to all of us. And we will, across the board, it is agreed that Dr. Rowley has not done well for us. And I believe people know that even if you keep doing the same thing, you're not going to get a different result. It's common sense. And I'm saying forget UNC, UNM, and vote for YOU. Vote for yourself. Vote in your own best self-interest. And put aside all the other bits and pieces of.
Well, look how you highlighted all the children that died.
It hurts me.
It seems like a big personality.
It is embedded in my heart. And just thinking about the horror these children face. And when you should have turned to that upside down to ensure another child didn't die, there are children dying with, I mean, when a mother's arm becomes a friend, we have gone too far. You know, at least look as if you're interested to care about children. And this is really pain me, and that is why I have to talk about them without even going to notes. Because I allow myself to be impacted by that. You cannot not be.
The next man of the hour, Mr. Ravi. But needs no introduction. Ravi, just a few words to the folks at home.
All the best, stay safe, keep your family safe, stay united, and together we will build a better Trinidad and Tobago forward.
Ravi, what number?
Alexander. Well, how you enjoyed the meeting? Hey, it was pumping. Wednesdays, Devis Maraj, Anil, well, I mean Anil Energy. But Jerlyn, boy, I tell Jerlyn, I said, I speak to the here. I said, she like that. She had left. I was ready when she started calling all those victims. I was ready for the altar call. If she had called the altar call, I was good. She had it nice. Yeah? I think number people looking for you. You only ask me where, Philip. A message was sent tonight. So, is your number one fan here? Who's this young lady? Who is this young lady? Is this Philip? Chairwoman.
It's not only about meeting the personally. Let's see if we can meet some ordinary people to talk to.
What's some of the problems in our orchestra? What's your name like that? What's the most concerning thing about right now? What's that SOE affecting on yours? Right, unemployment, training. I think Jolene did a terrific job the last time she was there. Right. So you know Jolene very well. Yeah. She did a lot of work up there. So this time you're looking for some more of that. And you're hoping UNC wins so they can continue some of that. Right, good. So that's my friend there. Nice meeting you again, man. Okay, so we're moving again.
Right.
Yeah? How are you going? You okay? So you're going, sir? How are you going tonight? Where are you from? Cuba. Okay, so what some of the things you're looking for in this journey?
Our veteran, I have been in this case for about 50 years.
Right. So what's your name, by the chance? What's your name? What's his name?
Rajman.
For the folks at home.
The first chairman of this, the youngest chairman passed through this country for regional corporation.
Right.
You must know the politics in 1992 when they changed what's called the concept in municipal corporation. I was the first elected chairman of the Cuba.
What are some of the problems you're having in Cuba? Right now?
I mean, the corporation with funding, the PNM has been discriminatory against our corporation getting funding to do the work for the people. We are the worst set of road all over the country. The roads are declared. But what is happening? I want to tell you about the SOE.
Right, yeah.
This is really a gimmick, right? What is happening when you show the police officers to people home now without a warrant?
Right.
What it tells you that even the fake police that we
yes
will have positive and
for the benefits of the public. Look into the camera when you're talking.
Yeah. So what is happening now? People are like scapegoats now with this SOE because police could enter your house. If a police officer have a grievance with a lineman, a man's wife or daughter, that is the time now he could take advantage.
Because the police, you live next to police officers.
Exactly. So the police will get powers beyond the extra powers now to do harm to people rather than to do good. Well, this government is the worst we have ever seen. Way back from Eric Williams days.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
70 years.
You're looking so?
Yeah. Right? So it has been the worst. It is the worst. And because of that, they will have to go. They will have to go.
Nice meeting you again, sir. Nice meeting you again.
Now, that was the meeting last night that would have taken place on the 6th of January 2025, just last night. And we would have broadcast it from a different perspective, because what you see on TV, sometimes you're not seen behind the camera. Very rarely you don't see the flash the camera into the crowd. So as to the many of you that wasn't there last night and taking in the message that was very informative to the country at large, to talk about the pension thing, just to recap what Kamla Persad-Bissessar would have said, the pension thing, we're not outside of the thing yet. It still had to go to Parliament, and she would have said in a speech that she will agree to dismiss the bill. So you can't just mount a platform and say everything good. Some public officer just stick in that clause and it done just like that. She would have given the people, that the aged people of this population, the assurance that she are going to vote to dismiss that $25,000 cap that it have on the pension, and that Reginald Amo and Donald Cox didn't want to take blame, so they just throw it on a public officer. Yeah, that is what they did. So the thing about it is this: the party that you may not understand is concerning this gun that Kamla Persad-Bissessar would have went in a little detail to, as to mention. Rowley acts for a specific type of firearm to kill animals, and 500 rounds of ammunition, 9mm ammunition to kill animal. And he would have seen it as something that is very important. Notwithstanding the high crime level in Trinidad and the constant application from many of the people in the business community that is applying for a firearm to protect themselves and their family because of the assets they are holding. But at the end of the day, Keith Rowley would have seen it important for him to have this firearm to kill animals and 500 rounds of bullets. Boy, we reach. And do tune in today, a matter of fact, for further breakdown on this message that we would have acquired from the UNC Monday Night Forum. It was very informative. That is the reason why we would have, rebroadcast this whole scenario with properties acquired by us. So you would have seen everybody outside there. And as I say in the beginning of the broadcast, that, it had this young girl that was there that, gave me a piece of a poem. And when I read it, when I coming down in the car last night, Manifesto Police are CA, but we're not really addressing that here. Gary Aboud, the thing with Gary Aboud, we are going to address this thing coming further up within the week. And we are going to also address the Gary Griffith issue, a matter of fact, that is ongoing issues within the public domain that needs to be addressed. People are afraid they're going around the issue. We would have invited Gary Aboud on this platform here as to address this further. So I'm hoping that, probably Thursday that, carded, that That interview is scheduled for Thursday. So before I leave, a matter of fact, the poem that was given to me by the young girl in the meeting there, I say, far and wide, people would have come to the meeting with hope in their hearts. With hope in their hearts, a matter of fact. So, this was the poem. In shadows deep, where whispers lie, a flicker glows through though hearts may sigh. Though storm that rage and sky that weep, hope holds it watch while others sleep. It lifts the weary from the ground when all seems lost and no light is found. A gentle hand, a whispered prayer, a silent promise hanging there. Hope is the dawn in the darkest night, a steady flame that burns so bright. It speaks of dreams yet to be born, of fields of bloom in the coming morn. A battle fought and struggles won in every heart that's bruised and torn. Hope sing the song of things anew, and strength within of skies turn blue. It holds it close, this steadfast light. So hold it close, this steadfast light, through every trial and every fight. For as long as hope remains in view, the world is waiting to be renewed. And the inspiration that would have came from the young girl at the meeting that would have written that poem, she says she would have believed in the hopes of the UNC party. She believed that the UNC is going to win the election 2025 and Trinidad will be restored to its former glory. And that is the hopes that many of us here is longing for. That is the hopes many of us is longing for. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Good morning to many of you that are outside here. Somebody make a comment on the chat that I'm laughing. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. So to you that are outside here, come Thursday, we are going to do a live interview with Gary Aboud on this Workers' Rights platform. And stay tuned. Because we believe that every opinion matters. And we believe in giving people a voice. No matter how some of the times the interviews come off. That is only live and in the moment. Sometimes, you have to be quick on your fingers. Very quick. But it's not our intention as to block the views of other people. So, some of the times, as we learning, as we go along. Because somebody would have made a comment concerning that, that when they expressing themselves, we interrupt them. Whilst we on the road and thing. So we apologize for that. Next time, coming along, we gonna leave you like finish your thoughts. Sometimes, the little pauses does somebody times the people who are not comfortable with silence. to just try to fill these silence. But sometimes sometimes the pauses is gaps that people are using to think going forward and to try to make probably to add other words than what they already have in their mind for telling a message or relaying a message to people. So in going forward, we will address those issues going forward. And again, my name is Renison Jeffrey. This is the Workers' Rights Platform. We urge you to subscribe to our channel and be a part of this, fastest growing network. And with that, we are out. Yes. Smiley. Keep the hope alive. Keep the hope alive in truth. So we are out. Thank you very much for tuning in.